This video is direct response to your request for reverse out knee pain applied to the shoulder, so always feel free to keep me posted. I try to look at what is most requested, and then I'll try to put that out next week. So this will be in 4 parts. Part 1 being on the knee to bring anyone up to speed. So if we take an example of a human activity that causes epidemic of knee pain, we'll take jumper's knee. So you're running up to jump, and then that force slams into your knees, causing a very high percentage of people in jumping sports to have knee pain. Now, we've found that it's essentially a math equation of how much strength and ability you have in reverse. So literally going backwards. So from reverse sled to reverse step-ups to even the ATG split squat, all of which scales and is giving grandparents the same wins that younger people are having. But if you look at all those, your body is literally moving backwards. You're reversing out knee pain. So this concept of reversing out knee pain probably has the most knee success stories ever. And that concept also applies to shoulders. So we're going to take 3 exercises that reverse out shoulder pain. And it's the same concept. I brought 2 weights here for each demonstration. One is like no weight. So you could see that if we took an exercise in reverse of shoulder pain, you could start with just having to lift your own arm, and then you could go 1 pound and so on. Now what I'm using is 20 pounds. I weigh 190 pounds. So I'm looking for people in sports to have a baseline of at least 10% of their body weight. That should be easy. Like you should feel pain-free and like you could do a bunch of reps. So let's take a look. My thought process here, and I'll show you this from each angle, is that I want to be so strong in reverse. Like I feel like I could throw that weight. Now we want to do that with no other motion in the body. That means that we're really strictly lifting that load, and we want to fight it down all the way. Full pause, so there's no bounce. Boom, explode out. Control, 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 control. Full pause, intent. So you could cheat it. There's a lot of ways you could get the weight up. Honestly, I think it would still be an effective exercise no matter how you do it. But certain factors of this form, for example, being able to fight it down. What if you couldn't fight it down? Well, now you mathematically have more chance of shoulder pain. So having the posture up so that you're not getting to bounce right there. So under stretch, and now trying to lift it with nothing in your body moving. Boom, that was a good rep. Now fighting down. And I'm actually just relaxing my torso between my legs. So wherever you're comfortable here, strong and stable here, chest up, nothing in the body moving except that rotation. Controlling, 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 pause. Now how strong am I in reverse of that shoulder pain? So for me, I'll be honest, it was this exercise alone got me out of chronic shoulder pain. But we're gonna look at 2 more. By going to a slight incline and putting just one leg up on the bench, I can put myself out to the edge here so that my arm is not cut off by my torso and is actually here. And now without bending my elbow, can I raise that weight up? And then same thing, fight, 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 without that elbow bending. This one for me is much tougher because I was lazy and I really just worked that external rotate. That was enough. Being strong that way was enough for me to play basketball and throw passes as hard as I wanted without pain. Now, I actually think this exercise should be just as strong, but since I've done it so much less, I'm much weaker. And now that I'm training it, I mean, I couldn't even do 20 pounds a couple months ago. Intent, intent, intent. You see this intent right here? So that's why I'm not just saying exact rep numbers, because you could cheat your way to more reps. When I'm lifting weights, I don't care about the weight room number. I care about the effect it's having on my body. I care about the load on my tissues. So if I just went here and I dropped to there and then I swung up, how much actual load do you think that was on those muscles behind the shoulders and between the shoulder blades? That's failure right there, folks. So again, We're talking about powerlifting here. We're talking about lifting measurable loads with precise accuracy to make the body more bulletproof and athletic. So whether it's knee ability or ankles or shin splints or Achilles or shoulders, I believe it's a math equation. The pain doesn't have to exist. There's what you're doing in life versus exactly how protected you are for that. And this video isn't an end-all be-all of the shoulders, just like with the knees. It's not only the reverse part, but in terms of getting out of pain, these are staples in my program because I've coached hundreds in person, maybe even close to 1,000 people in person measuring their numbers. And I'm talking less than 1% can do these 3 shoulder drills with strict form with at least 10% of their body weight. But through training, then actually the majority can. So we're talking going from really fragile to really bulletproof relative to the norm, just because we're training areas that normally don't get touched. So now let's dive into the third exercise, the toughest of them. Same thing here. You could start with your own body weight. Perfect form means your elbows don't bend, because the more they bend, the less actual load there is. You're not here, you're not here, you're here. 45-degree angle of your arms to each other. So this would be too close. This would be too wide, like a 90. 45 seems to lock it in. You're squeezing the glutes, but you're not arching the back. Notice here there would be less tension, boom, than right holding that point. So just like the previous exercise, this one with 20 pounds each hand is gonna rock me because I skipped it so much, I trained it so much. But I think this may have major implications for our posture long term, and I haven't been skipping it lately. And that's because it works. You have trap muscles, and you have 3 rows of them, traps. And then it goes lower, and these go almost all the way down to your lower back. And it's very hard to isolate these, but these may be really key for long-term posture, for shoulder health, and also back and neck health. So let's take a look. I'm gonna go up and hold it. Fight. Oh, fight. Oh, fight. Much tougher than it looks, but I'm super grateful to have these exercises, to have something that my grandma can do, that I can do the rest of my life. These are actually super controlled exercises, but by strength training them, we're training areas that usually don't get hit with that measurable load. So the whole theory is based on the human body not being designed thinking, oh, the human body has to have drugs and surgeries to keep functioning. I've gone on the premise that no, it doesn't have to have drugs and surgeries. How have we deviated? So we're building bodies that are going out of balance with how we're naturally designed. These exercises help restore that balance for the shoulder. As always, my program from day one has been full body, not just knees. It's ankles, knees, hips, spine, shoulders, even some elbows. So if you need simple programs to follow, I only put up programs that I myself have lived through and then coached people through over and over again. They're not absolutes. They're just workable frameworks with your own form coached, questions answered, 7 days a week, under 24 hours. Good, hard work in exchange for your hard-earned dollar. No long-term contract. Any questions before starting, just write in. We'll answer you rapidly. Much thanks. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what topic to cover next week.